Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a very refreshing lemon and peach tea, very nice indeed. So welcome back to Prison Architect, and in the previous episode we were building the chapel and graveyard. Now there's still some improvements to make and changes to implement, however there's more of a pressing matter to attend to first. If we go over to the police station and specifically the yard at the back, we have this rat trap here, and that's for a fairly obvious, audible reason. And yes, the guard pavilion is indeed squeaking. We have heard this before, and it wasn't until someone or a couple of people pointed out in a couple of episodes' comments that basically, as we were moving the mouse around, yeah, like mice and rats and rodents and jokes, and I'll see myself out. Anyway, as we move the cursor around, we can see that this guard pavilion is completely filled with rats. In fact, I would guesstimate that all 75 rats in the facility are in this guard tower. Sorry, no, not in, they are it. The foundations are rats, the walls are not even made of stone anymore, it's just rat. So what we need to do is rip this down and see if we can basically clear the rats out. So, over to deployment and remove deployment of that, well, I don't want that guard up there because the chance of being bitten is quite high, and secondly, this is probably going to collapse at any moment. Let's go to guard pavilion and dismantle, and while that is in progress, let's go over to the graveyard and the chapel and make a couple of improvements. First, the utilities, water, and the hot water pipe. I'm just going to extend that out a little bit just so we buy in some more pipe and actually plumb in the radiator. Also want to go over to the walls and doors, and then to the fence wall, and then replace that one, which was an error. Finally, over to the main area, and people did rightly point out that, you know what, don't these normally have stained glass in? Yes, they do. So there's a couple of options we can go down. We can use the glass wall, which would just be, allow access into this, or visibility through it, should I say. Also, we could use bottle wall, which is a beautiful and coloured wall, which would look nice as well. But there is actually, I believe, a stained glass window. So what I'm going to do is just put in stained glass windows all across there, all down here, and indeed 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3, 4 on these corners as well. So that's going to be a bit of money because it's 300 each, but yeah, 12,000 and a bit of change we spent on that thing. And we also want to go over to walls and doors again and the wall derelict, and I want to make a couple of extra rooms. Basically, we've got these wings on either side that we really don't have any purpose for, but if we do this and then put some doors on it, I'm going to use these barn doors like so, we can have these as different rooms. Specifically, I think we're going to go with a meeting room on the right hand side, and oh, didn't mean to do that, graveyard, there we go. Yeah, what we can do is have a meeting room here and some psychologist offices here. I think that's what we're going to do. Anyway, over to the top and let's see if this has been removed. No, but there is a worker. Right, so Dixie is removing the guard pavilion. So just working on the bottom, and they seem to have frozen. Come on, Dixie, come on, I'm sure you can fix that. Yes, it is squeaking, yes, we are aware, and yep, they've pretty much noped out of the entire job. Ah, there we go, they're back onto it. So they're just going to use this screwdriver and wiggle it in front of the door, and then the guard tower will come down. Just taking a little bit of time there. Still working on it. Job's quite large. Screwdriver's now a nub. Screwdriver's now being turned to dust. Apparently, this is quite a task to take down the guard pavilion. Normally we have a bar that goes up to show you it's being removed, but apparently that's not here. Good grief, that is a lot of work. While we're on with that then, it's currently eat time. I'm just going to go to intelligence and then informants, and I'm going to go around and see if there's... Ah, yes, there we go. There are some people that we do need to change to protective custody. I'm seeing another one in here as well. And you know what? It's actually easier. I keep forgetting about the security menu, and you can just go to vulnerable. So we've got a couple of inmates. So select prisoner. Can we select the prisoner? And I want to change that to protective custody, and Balthazar, protective custody. The problem is that, well, look at that, you can change them to marked. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the problem is that I can't change where they are, I don't think. Let's just have a look. So you can click on different people, and what will happen is they'll have an option here to change where they live. But that's only if they've got a single cell. If they're in a dormitory, like there you go. So Hawkins, they're already in. If I got to change cell, choose new cell. So this is where they're currently. This is what they're currently occupying. But if it's a dormitory, you can't use that option for whatever reason. It's just a very strange quirk of the game. So I'm going to have to sort of manually say you now live there. And, well, let's see if any of that actually works. So we've got the stained glass ordered. We've got these rooms getting built. I'll have to check the weather and temperature to see if everything's okay. Just over to logistics and temperature. This is actually fine. I don't need to alter that. Also, what I want to do is I want to go down to dismantle, and I want to dismantle at least the graves at the back here. As I mentioned in previous episode, the graves that you can place, you've got ornamental ones, then you've got, I guess, realistic ones. Gravestone is supplied for every death that takes place in the prison, so 47. So we want to use these gravestones and have this as an active graveyard, for lack of a better term. And so, there's the rats. And there's a lot of them. This seems to have infested the entire yard. We have this trap here as well, which we can hear a noise as they get into the trap. I've never actually seen what happens there. First things first then, emergencies and pest control. I'm going to call in double pest control because, well, one application will probably resolve the entire issue. And we can see them... they're picking up that, that's fine. I'm going to see what happens with the rat in the trap. It is a humane trap, so... Oh, there we go. So, the gardener here, Guard. Whoa! That was what? No, I didn't mean to press that. Right, okay, so they are taking the rat, and it's a... Oh, look at the rat looking at them. It's a fairly cute thing. Anyway, it's not personal. We just don't want you in here because you're chewing through things. So they're going to take them to... It says release rat, so they're probably going to take it, believe it or not, to exports. They're going to export the rat. I don't know if it's going to be put on the back of a truck or anything like that. I have a feeling it's going to just sort of disappear. So let's see. So they're coming along, going down. And they've actually dropped off at garbage, and the rat hasn't disappeared, but it is heading underneath the government building. No, it's actually flying above it, but there you go. That doctor is probably thinking he's hallucinating. even blinked when the rat went through the toilet. Please don't chew the high voltage cables, and... The rat just leaves. Okay, fair enough. So, there is that done. Interesting. So there is... Oh my good grief, that is just utterly ridiculous. Look at all of the rat droppings. Absolutely everywhere. Not much we can do about that. Let me just go over to intelligence and... yeah, I want to, like, say, move people over. So this person... it's not that person, it is that person. I want to move them to a free cell. So that looks free to me. So can I just say that bed or that cell? I think possibly. And then there's another person here. Yes. And you can go in here. But I don't think that's going to work. I don't know how they're managing to just wander around as well. It doesn't seem to be right. Anyway. They're going in there. We can't really assign them to, let's say, another cell. Anyway, the rats are still about. There they are. When pest control comes over, eventually this will be resolved. Oh, where are the pest control people? They're coming in. So there's one rat carried by Nell. They're going to be humanely released. And then, well, not so much there. Oh, well, look, that went from 70 to 5. Right, okay. There we go. So there's still 5 somewhere. But that might be the one that they're releasing. Oh, there we go. There's all of the stained glass in. It's, it doesn't look great. But, I mean, it exists. So, that's fine. This water pipe is not being installed. Oh, hang on, wait. It is insulation. There we go. So that's done. And let's do these rooms. So we want an office. Double office. And I want a meeting room, which requires chairs. And we're going to use these yellow chairs, because why not? And we'll just have them like this. And there we go. So we now have a meeting room. The office is a similar thing. So we want desks, chairs, a filing cabinet in there, and I think we want. Do you want a leather? Do you want a? Is it a sofa? Brown sofa, like that, and those are going to be for the psychologist, which we do have, but we've got all these spare offices. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove all of these. And then they should be assigned to a different office. But I also want to hire in another psychologist. So they require 2. Also, why not? Grants and basic farming. That requires farming to be unlocked. So also go with legal prep. We'll hire another lawyer in a moment. I just moved that bit of the UI. I did. There we go. And I'll wait for these offices to be occupied. Oh, also, down here, cleaning cupboard. Why not? And I think all of these were suggested in previous episodes' comments. And there we go. And objects, just going to wait to see if this is done. That's done. And that's done. Is it? Yes, indeed. So, psychologist's office and office. Accountants. That's the foreman, warden, and the chief. And the other office. There you go, both psychologists. So we'll just hire in a lawyer. Like that. And then it's office again. And there's the office for the lawyer. Good. Okay, so in order to do some farming, we need to have a farm. It says crop distribution provides control over where prison-grown ingredients are and moved to after being harvested. So we've got a lot of space for a farm, and I think the best place for it is going to be in this corner, because I want to have maybe another apartment block similar to this. In fact, it will be this. I'll just clone it down to here. Then we want in probably like a mall type thing, or at least some other shops, and then we're going to have the farming bit here. Now, in terms of farming, it says correctly build a functional vegetable allotment, correctly build a functional fruit orchard, and correctly build a functioning farm field. So we want a vegetable allotment, field, and orchard. So, there's the 3. Minimum size is 5 by 5. If we were to place it here, what I'd want is a double fence. So the fence is going to go along there and then up like this. And this is internally, this is where we're going to have the farm. So minimum size is 5 by 5. What could we make this? Now, we have to touch on, I guess, field. We have to touch on the farming. You need a shed in there. And there's also options for sprinklers, drip pipes, auto harvesters, which is, I believe, 10 distance. Yes, it is. The basic gatherer, which is 5 by 5. a 1 tile in the middle and a 5 by 5. The advanced auto gatherer is a 10 by 10, but it takes up 2 tiles in the middle. You've also got an auto scythe. So we could just have these and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and have that the size of the field. But that is sort of... We've done auto farming before. What I like the idea of is that, you know, this is just more jobs for people to work. It's not like hard toil of the land. That's not the angle we're going with. But what I'll do is I'm going to have it as vegetable allotment, and it's going to be this by this. So it's something by 10. The reason the by 10 bit is if we do fancy... Well, actually, we don't want another vegetable allotment. If we do fancy another... If we do want to go auto-harvesting, there is that gap there. In fact, you know what I'll do? I'll make a further gap. I'll have a gap of 2 between them. And then a fruit orchard. And I'm guessing that lots of ingredients is going to be taken from this. Nightmare. And I think that is all that is required. I think so. So then the... I mean, I thought it was going to take a lot of room up. It really hasn't. Okay. That's fine. And then we'll have the pathways. No, it's going to be fences coming up and across because we want a pantry. The pantry is, if we have a look at this, no minimum size, which is pretty handy. And, well, should we have it so you have to go through the pantry? No, that would be absolutely stupid, wouldn't it? So instead what we'll do is have planning, walls, and we'll ditch that and we'll have walls. I don't know why I'm measuring that size because I don't know what we're going to have it as size-wise. That is far too big. The pantry only needs to be literally 3 internal, I think. Realistically. It doesn't need to be much bigger than that. So it could be that. It could... That's 2 internal. Even then, that would probably be fine, wouldn't it? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna have the fruit orchard at the bottom. I'm gonna have the vegetable allotment next to it, and I'm gonna get rid of that gap of 2. I don't know why I was putting it in there. Just a bit of a waste of time. And then the field. Like that. So we've saved a bit more space, because why not? Is that correct? Just double check the measurement. It is 10 by 10 by 10. And the pest control has just sprayed loads of stuff on the field, so I'm sure that's nice and healthy now. And we'll have this as... We'll have it 4 internal, why not? And then for this part, it's going to be like this, and like this. Actually, wait, we'll do that. And then we're going to have doors, and a metal detector, like that. Probably a door there as well. Okay, there is our farming field. Very easy to do. Let's get that done. I'm just going to go over to the fence grass. We are just going to use fencing here. Don't think we need anything else. I mean, actually, we could use wooden fences or picket fences. Electrified, probably a bit overkill. I think no, we'll stick with this fence. And like I said, I just want to fence it off to hopefully reduce the amount of contraband that's going to be brought in, although it is going to be quite a bit. And then foundation... Building brick is what we go with normally for this, so we will do that. Although, what else could we have? Reclaimed wood wall. It's like a wooden barn type thing. Let's make it a bit different, why not? Like that. And then we're actually going to have a barn door. Like that. It'll be standard fence and a standard fence. And there we go. Right, while they are cracking on with that, I'm going to go over to objects and to the graveyards, or to the graveyard and the gravestones, and put a row of gravestones in. I could leave a gap of 2, but I'm just going to leave a gap of 1 there. That seems to be acceptable. And, well, there it is, a monument to how poor the security of this facility is. Speaking of that, have we got people moved over to here yet? It seems so. It seems so. Security menu, vulnerable. We do have another person. So change those to protective custody. We're going to select them. Where they're at. They're in here somewhere. Haskell. Ah. I see, they went invisible. Extremely strong and ex-prison guard. So, we have space there for them. Actually, protective custody-wise, we're running out of space. Due to a logistical error, receiving extra supplies. I guess they'll put that in the storage. People have mentioned changing these lockers to, like, racking. And that would make sense. I just like the idea of it as it is now. Let me sell that log. That this is, like, your security lockers. So you pay money and you can store stuff in there. Don't know. We might change it later on. We might not. I'm going to sell object. It is quite cold, isn't it? Emergencies. Road maintenance. What we at? Minus 19 degrees. I'm fairly confident everything but one room is warm. Temperature. Yeah, this one here. That one's still not connected. The rest of it seems to be okay. Maybe not so much. It's not so much in here. Tell you what I'll do then. Water, radiator. One there, one there. There's that problem fixed. Let me just prioritise that. And also, let's run some programs. So I want a... What do I want? Behavioural therapy. We'll start some of that. And farm work safety. 82 are interested. So we'll run that. There's no teacher. Correct. Let's hire in a farmer. The farmer will handle jobs related to farming. They also require to teach inmates. I'll have a couple of farmers. Actually, 3 farmers. One per field. Not that that is necessary, but we have the money, right? I don't want to... I can reschedule programs now. That's fine. Kitchen safety and hygiene is fine. Behavioural therapy. Let's run up to there. It says 5 in the queue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pharmacological treatment, drug addiction, alcoholics group, parole hearing. We probably need more parole at some point. We also need some more visitation, but I'm going to put the visitation around here. I want a little security room. I want more visitation. It's all going to be around these parts here. Anyway, where is that farm safety? 77 interested, but apparently only 1 attending. Because of course, basically. Right. The farming field is in. It's not. We haven't got a shed though, so I'll put a shed in after a metal detector, which is going to go in here. We're going to have a pantry, which requires nothing as far as I can tell. So it's enclosed, yes. And the room is chilled to keep prison-grown ingredients preserved. I guess we could place something in there to chill down. We do have freezers, so... do we have them? I thought we had freezers of some kind. Pantry. Tall fridge. There it is. Okay. Well, I'm just going to put that amount in. 5 grand. And let's connect those up like so. Okay. Danger level is increasing. It says we got 100 prisoners need clean clothes. Yes, they do. They're going to be working on that. We want in... What do we want? A shed. And the shed will go... Well, I can't tell you where they're going to go because I can't see anything. Because it's so frozen. I can't see where this is going to go. And why is performance absolutely tanking? I've got loads of just micro stutter. Oh, good grief, what is going on? Okay, restart. Okay, back on it now, and I've just loaded it, and it says we have an escape over here. Wow, apparently that has been smashed up. Did notice that there was the bubble to indicate something going on. I just thought it was just a random fight in and around these areas. You know what? I haven't done a tunnel search in quite a while. I'm always worried about these places because they often get to a point where, yes, they like to start digging. Like these toilets here, the ones in here and here, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So apparently it says rough number of rats in the prison is 5, so we do still have some rats. I'm not putting that guard pavilion back in. but I am going to call back in the repairman. I'm also noticing we've got number of prisoners with flu. We've got 38 prisoners with flu. So let's see. Hang on. What? Did I bring in the wrong people? Did I bring in repairmen or something instead? Yeah, I think I did. Pest control. There we go. And down here, we're going to have in objects and go down to the pantry. No, it is a shed. We've done the pantry. And the shed will go... Oh, there's a rat! There's one! I mean, it sort of makes sense them being there. Let's put the sheds... the bottom left of each one, and I believe that requires water, so I will run some water. I want to say some, I mean that amount, and we just don't have to worry about it anymore, do we? That obviously requires electricity, which is what it's got, and guessing some lighting would be of some benefit, something like that. Good, okay. We have some returning inmates, not too much of an issue, and they don't have traits that is concerning. But naturally we can go here. Vulnerable. Oh, we got Simpson. Who, let's see, what trait do they have that's of an issue? Are they working? Right. Well, I'm guessing they've got, yeah, crimes, fraud, dangerous reputation as snitch. Ah, okay, there we go. So protective custody and protective custody. Slater is ex-law enforcement. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, we don't have enough protective custody. That is a little bit concerning. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it there for now. That's been a bit of Prison Architect. Next episode, I want to really crack on with the farming. Obviously get people working there and do all of that. It says we need to plant some crops, and that'll be the basic farming grant. We'll then get on with looking at where the deficits are. So we do need some more protective custody, apparently. I don't know what we're going to do about that, like where we're going to put it. And also, I would like more visitation, which means I think we are going to be bringing in people over here, which is going to be a bit of a nightmare. We're going to have to plan off what's going to go around, and yep, that's a future me problem. Next episode, we'll do all of them things and see how we get on. As always, hope you have enjoyed the episode and the series thus far. Comments in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.